You are looking at over Unity 37 of my invention. I've just been working with some different things here. This is basically, I'm getting better at wrapping these coils, and here's one with it's like 24 gauge wire. This one right here is, and here it has it's a little lot thicker. It's like 22 gauge. I'm just kind of like want to show you guys what's going on this. I don't claim to have perpetual motion or anything like this. This is going to tap into low energy sources and stuff like that. A lot of these people keep saying going with the efficiency and stuff like that. What does efficiency have to do with the energy is free, like a river flowing? What I was trying to explain before is, could you just forget about this being an electric motor right now. This is a paddle. This is a stream running underneath it. This would be like on a flotation device. As this rotates, as the stream rotates and comes down through here, it's going to make these things oscillate. It has a very low RPM. You're talking maybe from 200 to 350 RPMs at the most. And that's giving it, pushing it, because it won't. I'm just going to show you some demonstrations here of how much outputs I can get on this. I do not claim this to be over Unity, and it has no intentions at this point. I have patents on it. What I'm trying to do is tap into these other energy sources, which Tesla's generator will not do it. It requires a very high RPM, and you have a thing called magnetic drag, Lenz's law, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to show you what the output of this one coil is. I put some of these rubber bands up here, so it kind of like keeps it so it doesn't shake it. And I'm just going to do the work on one coil. A lot of people keep saying, well, they keep going with the efficiency on how many the coil would have putting in, putting out. That has nothing to do with it. If this is tapping into a fast running stream or a lake where hydroelectric will not be possible, if the energy is free, what does the efficiency have to do with anything? It's free energy. I just want to show you basically what one coil can do on this. This is set here. I'm going to start this up. You can see it's falling in and out of there. It's got like two frequencies. I got the first frequency. Look how slow that thing's turning. Not very fast at all. And it's producing almost 3 volts of power. Now, as I speed it up, it goes to another frequency, which is almost speeding up. See how it does? Now it's going into the next frequency mode. Rotating faster. Rotating faster. Okay, 4 volts. Then it loses time like this. So you can see that. So even though, look how, but it's got like 2 frequencies, as you can see. Now watch it when I start it back up again. On the lower band frequency, I can get before, now watch, it'll stop when it hits the next frequency. stop. Go back again. Very fast roll, real slow. Broke off now. Watch. Almost free right there. See? Revolt. How slow that's going. Not running very fast at all. See how many amps this is at that speed. That's on the first frequency. Now, that was on the first frequency level. Now I'm going to show you what it could do on the second frequency in the amps. I got it switched over to amps. Right there it is. You can see it's all set up. See how many amps I can get out of this. The reason why it drops is because this thing turns into a magnet down in here. There's a certain point where it oscillates. I can put my finger on this coil. There's nothing in between. It's just like this real thin stuff right here. You can see it. There's just a real thin tape. There's no heat on this. It generates no heat whatsoever. But the thing is, it gets up to about 1 amp and then it stops. Even with this, see what I got over here is this magnet down here in the bottom here, which repels it out down inside. You see that magnet down inside there? So I'm just kind of like showing you one cylinder. So I don't get what people get. You know, I mean, what's the difference if it's free or not, or if you're not paying anything, and if it's tapping into a lake or a fast running stream or an ocean current or wind, whatever, what's the difference on the efficiency if it's free? I don't quite get it, you know. I think it'd probably be in the 90% range as far as efficiency once I get all the stuff hooked up. But I'm just kind of like showing you there's a certain point where you could tap stuff into and you're not going to get any generator that's going to be hooked up to you can't hook a motor up and have that input and have a generator put out and get 55%. There's no way. That's rated horsepower. What I'm putting in here is not rated. It's just amount of current in that. You're not going to get that same out of it. I'll guarantee you, I'll bet anybody any kind of money that they're not going to get 55% back out of it what they put into it. There's just no way. Because I won't believe it, because I've done enough tests and stuff. I know what you're going to get out of stuff. And I was testing out this, look at this new 3-tier core net. I found out that even though if it goes between the flux lines, that it still generates power, but some of these other ones show better, where it's completely going in and out of the coil is much better than just kind of like going through it a little bit. I found that out too. So I don't get what people mean by the efficiency. We're really not worried about that. If it's a fast running stream and their paddles are going around like this right here, and I could unhook this, and these things oscillate, and it can oscillate at a very low RPM here. What does that have to do with efficiency? You're tapping into energy. These are permanent magnets, and I'm not sitting there saying it's gonna. You got to have a source of energy for this thing to run. You know, I mean, there's thousands and thousands of lakes out there that they just spill the water. I mean, why couldn't this thing tap into it and get this energy and store it in batteries and stuff, and you just keep charging the batteries up in that? I got another coil right here with some thinner wire. I want to see what kind of amperage I get out of it, voltage. I don't have it. I got it partly made up. I'll finish putting the magnet. Goes into the bottom of this one like I have here, and I'm going to see what it does. But it seems like it works really good with a magnet in the bottom when this thing comes in and out to repel it. You know, and you can get, you know, if you had like 100,000 of these cells on this fast running stream, and it's not going to slow the stream down any, those paddles, and the energy comes from evaporation, which the water is running downhill towards the ocean basically, and it's just going to tap that water as it runs, or it could be air, or it could be on a hybrid car, you know, where you're going to have a real small motor. You're going to charge up your batteries, and it can run off of gasoline. And you could have you don't have all that heat from a big, large motor running it. And that's my theory behind it. So what I'm trying to do is work with something that's it's not really a generator like Tesla's, but it's not actually a perpetual motion machine. It does have energy that is feeding into it. Don't worry about what this motor is. That has nothing to do with it. People get off base. They don't understand concepts. Concepts like Thomas Edison. He was working on a light bulb, and it ran a couple minutes, and all of a sudden the wire burned up, and somebody came up to him and says, "Hey, you could have you spent all that time putting that wire in there, only lasted a few minutes. Here, you could make candles, and that could have lasted for hours." The guy didn't understand the concept. Like, for example, Alexander Bell. He was inventing the telephone, and he headed over to the room, and it was statically, and the guy comes in there and hears him in that, and he says, "Oh, that you could hear the static going that. Oh, I could shout across the room better than that." We didn't realize eventually the telephone, you could talk around the world. He had no clue to what's going on. This is concepts. I'm working with a concept. It doesn't have to matter with the efficiency. Even the first computer was not that efficient. It was big as a house. And couldn't do very much. And they came in after World War II sometime. And now look at there. You got more power in a calculator like this. Here, you got more power in this calculator right here than what they did when they sent the man to the moon. There's way more power than any computer that they had when they put a man on the moon. Right here in this calculator. You can buy it for $2 right off the shelf. Go into any store and buy a calculator. It has way more power. And that's how technology is advanced. And we thought we had something when we sent a man to the moon. You guys just don't have any idea how fast technology is. I'm only showing you a concept, and that's what this is. You have to have an understanding. I'm not asking for money. I'm just sharing this with you people. I'm not out to scam people. Don't give me no money. I don't want no money. I'm greedy. Because I'm going to get me a backer, and they're going to help me out, and I'm going to show them what I got. But I'm just kind of sharing this with you people because I want you to kind of understand where things come from. I'll let you go. Goodbye.